Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. Today we are unpacking this massive report by Dr. Teodoro Mendoza, and our mission here is really to look at how systemic agricultural corruption completely dwarfs our infrastructure issues.
Right. I mean, if you watched the 2026 State of the Nation address, you probably heard all about the 25 billion pesos lost to anomalous infrastructure projects.
Yeah, which sounds huge.
It does. But then you read this report and it estimates that agricultural mismanagement and debt leakages lost an astonishing 8.8 trillion pesos. And that is just between 2016 and 2025.
It is just staggering. It's like obsessing over a leaky faucet in your kitchen while the entire foundation of your house just quietly washes away.
Exactly. And to understand how wealth simply evaporates on that scale, you have to look at how the baseline data is manipulated.
Right, so we're talking about tweaking spreadsheets, basically. Let's start with rice.
Good place to start, yeah. I mean, there is a reason we became the world's top rice importer in 2024.
Taking in, what, like 4.8 million metric tons?
Yeah, 4.8 million. And it's driven by what Dr. Mendoza calls phantom demand. Authorities calculate national needs by falsely assuming every single person eats 148 kilograms a year.
Wait, really? Is that just, a clumsy math error? Or is that a deliberate excuse to justify these lucrative import contracts?
Well, it certainly looks deliberate when you see the results. That inflated metric justifies massive over-importation, which then completely floods the local market.
And crashes the local farm gate prices, right?
Exactly. Prices drop to like 10 to 12 pesos a kilo, but it costs farmers 18 to 20 pesos just to grow it.
Wow, so they are mathematically guaranteed to lose money.
Yes, especially since the rice tariffication law removed the safety nets that used to protect them.
Man, that's brutal. And I imagine that economic vulnerability just multiplies when you add environmental stressors. Like the sugar industry is a perfect example of this.
Oh, absolutely. The report details this hexagon of doom causing a projected 38% price drop for the 2025 to 2026 crop year.
Because it's not just one thing. It's El Nino. It's rising logistics and fertilizer costs and that pest, right?
Yeah, the RSSI pest. It's literally draining the sap from sugarcane, currently covering 61,000 hectares in Negros Occidental alone.
I was reading about the eco-friendly solution for that, deploying endemic parasitoid wasps instead of using chemical drones.
It's brilliant, but biological fixes can't stop the economic damage coming from the outside. The real kicker in that hexagon is duty-free artificial sweeteners.
Like aspartame and sucralose.
Exactly. They pour in duty-free and displace about 1.144 million metric tons of local cane sugar.
Oh, wow. That is a massive chunk of the market.
Yeah, it diverts up to 30 billion pesos, straight from the pockets of local farmers.
It's basically an invasive economic species silently choking out our local agriculture. But, here is where I want to push back a bit.
Sure, go ahead.
We have bad math, bad weather, cheap substitutes. But how does that escalate to these organized syndicates actively weaponizing the system?
Well, they use those systemic vulnerabilities to create artificial scarcity.
Like with the 2022 sugar order number 4, or that crazy onion crisis in 2023 and 2024. I remember prices hitting 700 pesos a kilo.
Right, and they do that by colluding with customs. Syndicates repackage smuggled onions and literally fabricate a scarcity to force emergency imports.
But how do cartels achieve this so easily? Like, why is our system so fragile that they can just take over?
Because our local farmers receive less than half the budget support compared to places like Vietnam and Thailand. There's a vacuum of state support, so syndicates step in and dictate the terms.
Okay, so knowing the massive scale of this syndicate manipulation, what are Dr. Mendoza's concrete solutions? He lays out a roadmap. Right.
He does. He points to India's minimum support price, or MSP, as a solid model to follow.
Meaning the government guarantees they will buy a certain amount.
Yes, procuring 25 to 30% of local rice at a baseline price that ensures a profit for the farmer. You break the cartel's pricing power.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does. Plus, building buffer stocks, funding farm mechanization, and heavily taxing those artificial sweeteners. But there is also a huge consumer application here, which is dietary diversification.
Oh, right. Shifting away from imported rice.
Exactly. We have to start eating local corn, sweet potatoes, mung beans. We have to change the demand side of things.
So, wrapping this up, national stability really relies entirely on food sovereignty, which leaves you, the listener, with a pretty provocative thought.
Definitely something to consider before your next meal.
Right. If dietary diversification is a key solution, to what extent are your own daily cravings and ingrained cultural eating habits unintentionally funding the very cartels destroying our agricultural foundation? Are your food choices financing the wrecking ball? Something to chew on.